Hello, my dear students of Class 4. Once again, welcome back to our English class with me, Miss Vivekunyo as your teacher. Today, we are going to start a new lesson that is good deeds. You see here, right? We are going to start the lesson good deeds. You can read along with me. Good deeds. You will find this in chapter 4 and the page number is in 12. Okay, it's in page number 12. But first of all, before getting into the lesson, I want to explain the term good deeds to you. Okay, good deeds means good actions. We know that actions are movements, right? But there are so many actions which are bad and also some actions which are good. So we are going to discuss about the good things, but I want you to make a comparison of the good as well as the bad actions or the bad deeds, okay? If you go and pinch somebody or beat one of your friends, that is a bad deed, okay? You should never do that to any of your friends. And if you give a pen or pencil to one of your friends because he or she forgot to bring his pencil to school, that is a good deed that you should do. There are so many good deeds, I cannot explain everything, but there are some very important things that we are going to be discussing today. I want you to listen carefully, okay? Now I want all of you to think of what good deed you can do right now at home. All of you are at home, you are watching the video lessons, and so you can imagine of what you can do. While attending your classes, your video lessons, you can sit quietly and listen. You can even take a pencil and take down the notes while I'm explaining, or you can take out your textbook, turn to page number 12. That is also a good deed. If you are a student who is keeping the video on and running around without listening to what the teacher is explaining, that is a bad deed, okay? Or you can also do so many things to help your parents. Of course, you're still young, but you are a big boy now, 7 years old, 6 years old, right? So you can even help your parents at home with some works. I'm not asking you to carry big buckets of water because that will harm you. You are not strong enough to do that. But you can do certain things like cleaning the cups and plates, washing them, or you can even mop the table, clean the table after dinner. That is something that you can do. That is a good deed, okay? So we are going to discuss about some good deeds that a girl does, okay? There is a girl that we are going to read about. In your textbook, you will see that. Let's see what are the good deeds that you can do or I can do, okay? Here it reads, I help old people, okay? I help old people. Can you see that? Yes, we see a picture of a girl who is helping an old lady. Maybe it was her grandmother, or she might just be an old grandmother in the neighborhood. It does not have to be your family members. When you want to help old people, you can help even people who are not from your family. We see that a girl is helping an old woman from her wheelchair. I'm sure the old lady here in the picture is unable to walk, and so the girl has to drag her around, have to push her around from the wheelchair, right? This is one thing that you can do. Or I'm not asking you to help only an old person who sits on a wheelchair, but there are so many things. In your neighborhood, what can you do? You can go and help the old grandmother in your neighborhood by helping her clean her cups and plates, right? That is something you can do. Or if she's finding difficult to stand up, you can help her, you can hold her, or you can give her a walking stick and help her. Every old person does not sit on a wheelchair. I want you to understand that, okay? Just because I'm showing you the picture here does not mean you can do only this work. There are certain things that you can do which are not even in the picture, okay? One more thing here. Yes, this is what I'm explaining about. Here we see another girl who is helping an old lady with her walking stick. I say that every old persons do not sit on the wheelchair, right? in your neighborhood, you might have seen, I'm sure, even me, I have a lot of old ladies who work with walking stick in my neighborhood, and so also your neighborhood will be the same. What you can do, even with the stick, sometimes they find it difficult to walk, so you can help them. Or if you are someone who stays in the town, if they are finding it difficult to cross the road, what can you do? You can help them. You can hold their hands and then take them across the road while they are finding it difficult to cross the road. Yes, exactly, that's what you can do. And another thing that you can do is care for plants, okay? Caring for plants. Why should you care for plants? First of all, why should you care, or why should I care for plants? Because we all know that plants give us oxygen, right? We all know that if we plant more trees, there will be less pollution, isn't it? There will be less soil pollution, and there will be less air pollution. Landslides can be prevented. There are so many things, but we are not going to be discussing about those pollution today. But you know that you can care for plants, because when we have more plants in our environment, okay, you will have cleaner environment. So in this picture here, we see a boy who is planting a tree, okay? We see a boy planting a tree, and after planting it, he is also watering, isn't it? Can you see the boy watering the plants? He is also trying to water the plants, and after some years, I'm sure, or after some months, the plants started growing up, okay? The plants started growing up like into a big tree. And in this picture, what do you see? We see the tree bearing fruits. So what does a tree give you? It gives you fruits, it gives you flowers. There are so many things. Apart from oxygen, there are also so many other things that you get. So the boy planted a plant, okay, a small tree, and then it started giving fruits. It will take some time, but if you plant a fruit tree right now, it will start bearing fruit in 5 to 6 years. So by the time you reach class 6 or class 7, you can eat the fruit of the tree that you plant right now. You may think it's a long, long year, but you can always get a good result. And remember, good things does not come easily sometimes. You have to wait for some time, isn't it? So you have to be patient. You have to wait, okay? You have to wait for what will happen next. We also see a girl here who is planting flowers. We all like flowers, isn't it? You see this girl planting flowers. In the first pot, what do you see? You just see the pot with some soil. Later, she plants, okay? And then it also started blooming. We all want our houses, our homes to be decorated with beautiful flowers. And so this young girl has planted some flowers. This is how we care for the environment and also for plants. Plants are also living beings, okay? Plants are also living beings like you, so we have to care for them. We think that we can do anything we like with the plants if you are just cutting down the trees. I know you don't cut trees right now because you don't go to the jungle and start those work, but you see people cutting down trees, and everyone complains that the temperature is rising. It's getting hotter day by day. Why? This is all because we are cutting down the trees, okay? And also the pollution that is caused. So these are the reasons in ways that we can contribute to protect and care for nature. So this is how we can care for nature, by planting more trees and more plants, okay? You may think that you cannot go to the jungle all alone and plant a tree. Okay, fine. You can plant a small flower pot, okay? You can plant in a small pot in your home. That also contributes in the generation of oxygen, and that comes back to you. You may think that you are caring for nature, but nature cares back for you. That is what we have to keep in our mind, and also care for nature. If you are a person who used to throw sweet wrappers here and there, water bottles, I'm sure you don't do that as a student, but if in case there is anyone here amongst us who has the habit of not using the dustbin, throwing things everywhere they like, or throwing it into the drainage, or throwing on the roadside because there is nobody who can see him or her, you are doing a bad deed, okay? you are doing a bad deed, because good deed is caring for nature, isn't it? You should not do that, because when you do that, the soil gets polluted, the water gets polluted, okay? And then there will not be many plants that can grow up. We know that plastics, when there are plastics around us, plants cannot grow well. That is why we should not throw things on the roadside. Even if your teacher sees you or not, you still have to keep it inside your pocket. If you don't have a dustbin, take it to a place where you can find a dustbin and throw there. That is what we call it a good deed, okay? And we also see here a boy with his dog, okay? I'm sure you all like dogs, right? You love your puppies. You like to keep pets at home. And so we know that when we are with our pets, we enjoy, we play with them. But if it's not your pet, who knows? Sometimes you may want to kick it. That's a very, very bad deed. It is not good to hurt animals, okay? Even animals have feelings like human beings. So you should learn how to care for animals. Or if you see a duck or a chicken in the neighborhood, you may want to throw stones at it, but do not do that. It is not right to harm animals without any reason. If it is attacking you, that's a different case. But we should also care for animals. Caring for plants and animals is a good deed, and also that is why we should cultivate. Not just looking at people and saying, oh, he is a very good boy or she is a very good boy. Even if you keep saying that, but you don't do it, that means it is not right, because we know that every one of us should do what is right instead of going into the wrong way. Okay, so caring for plants and animals are very good deeds which you should start developing it if you are a person who does not do that. Okay, and remember, caring for plants and animals, you should also remember to not to throw things on the roadside, because in that way the plants get affected, and so you are not caring for plants. Okay, and one more thing I want you to know, I give things to the poor, it is. So our book says, I give things to the poor. You know what is poor, isn't it? You may think that you are poor and you complain, but you have food to eat, you have your parents to look after you. Okay, even if some of your parents are not there with you, you have your uncles, aunties, brothers, and sisters to look after you. But here we see a picture of a very young boy with his young brother, with his young baby brother. See, do you feel pity for that? Just look at this. It is so painful. If you look at these pictures, we are so lucky, isn't it? We are so lucky to have our parents. We are so lucky to have friends. We are so lucky to have food to eat. But these people, they don't have enough food to eat. They used to sleep by the roadside. You have seen beggars, right? Or even if you have not seen in real life, I'm sure you have seen beggars in TVs and videos. It's so, when we look at them, we feel so pity for them. So what we can do, if you have some poor children in your neighborhood or near your house, what can you do? You can give some things to them. You can give so many different things. You may have clothes which you don't wear anymore, or it has become tight for you or bigger than your size. What can you do? You can give it to them. If you have extra food, you can also give that to them, isn't it? If you have more than enough, or if somebody comes and give you some chocolates, so what can you do? You can share your chocolates with your friend who is poor. So they are poor not because they want to be, but because of some situations or some circumstances. Maybe their parents are sick and they cannot go to work. That's why they are poor. They don't have money to buy food. They might be starving. Starving means staying hungry. Okay, they might be starving. So that is what we should realize. Some people are there who don't care for the poor people. Okay, they just want to make fun of them, or they go and tell their stories to other people. They are very poor, they used to stay near my house. So if you are a person who is doing that, you are doing a bad deed. Yes, bad deed, because we are discussing about good deeds. And since you are a good boy and a good student, a good girl, you should do good deeds. Yes, you should give your things to the poor. If they don't have enough, share it. That's what we have to do, right? And also, the book says, I share food with others. You know what is sharing? If you have a packet of chocolates and you want to have it all alone, but your friends are by your side, what should you do? You should know that it's good to share food with others, okay? It is always good to share food with others. If you are just eating without giving them and your friends are looking at you, I'm sure your parents teach you not to eat alone without sharing with friends. Here we see a very young boy, right? We see a young boy who is sharing his chips, right, with others. So this is a good. And here we also see that another person is sharing the sweet with this boy. So these are all good deeds that we have to do. Good deeds, good actions. You remember, right? And so we all have to practice the good things that we are learning today. It is not only listening. You should also do it, okay? Sometimes we study to pass the exam, but we forget our lesson after we read it. That is not a right thing, okay? And so in the next, what can you do? Yes, I told you in the beginning, right? You can help your parents by cleaning the house clean. You cannot do those heavy works, but at least you can clean the tables. You can wash the cups and plates that you use. Those are good deeds. We have to be helpful towards our parents. Parents who are working hard to buy our needs, isn't it? They will buy your clothes, right? They buy sweets and bring to you. They buy food for you. Your parents go out for work. Those are the things that our parents are doing. So we as a student or a young child can always help them in the household work. And I pray to thank God for giving me food, clothes, home, and friends who love me. I want you to read this along with me once more, okay? I pray to thank God for giving me, yes, repeat after me, food, clothes, home, and friends who love me. Yes, we need food, we have already discussed. So, a good person should pray to God to thank, not just asking for this. We pray to God to ask for so many things, right? We pray to God to ask for so many things, but we also have to pray to God to thank Him for the food that we have. If God does not help us, we will not be able to get the food. If God does not help your parents by giving them good health, if they get sick, they will not be able to work and bring food for all of you, right? And so we have to pray and thank God for the food, the clothes that we wear, right? You wear beautiful clothes. And so those are the things that we get because God loves us. We have a home, a house to live in, and also friends, okay? Friends are there who love us. We all need friends in our lives, right? So these are the things that we should do. Okay, and also we should always thank God every single day for giving us whatever we need in our lives and be grateful in everything. Grateful means thankful, okay? Grateful is the same with thankful. So you have to thank God every single day for the life that you have, for the food that you eat, for the clothes, home, and yes, your friends. Even your friends are given by God so that they can love you, they can have time with you, and also give you company. So we learn from this lesson that we should all do good deeds and also thank God for everything, okay? We should thank God for everything that we have in our life. Those are some things that we have learned. Once more, let's recapitulate what we have already done. The first thing is we have to help old people. There are so many things, but I'm just going to tell you the things that we have discussed, the most important ones, okay? So we have to help old people. We have to care for plants and animals. We have to give things to the poor. We have to share our food with our friends, right? We have to share food with our friends. We have to help our parents at home. We also have to thank and pray to God for whatever we have. And so those are the good deeds, the good actions that you and I should do. So we will all start practicing that from today. If you have not started helping your parents at home, I am requesting you all to do a little bit of work at home. Okay, I know you cannot do heavy work, big works, but you can do works like I told you, helping your parents in keeping the kitchen clean. And so I'm sure you have learned a lot of things that you can do at home, right? So these are the good deeds that we all should start practicing. With this, we are going to end our class for today. Thank you so much for being here with me in our English class.